Hi everyone, and welcome back to my tier list ranking of everything I read in 2023. This is part 2, so if you haven't watched part 1, please do that now. This is my way of going through everything I read in 2023 since I only started Booktube in November, so you didn't get to see most of what I read last year or what I thought of it. So here is where the tiers are so far. We've got 60 books left to go, so let's get back to it. So, It'll Change the World. This is the Death Note novel. That's an alternate universe. And it was pretty fun. I liked the characters. I liked the development and the dynamic between Elle and the girl character. So yeah, that was awesome. The Lightning Catcher. This was about some kids who discovered this weird electrical creature. I don't know how I felt about this one. It was... yeah, you did your job. I don't really know how I feel about that one. And next is Little Foxes by Michael Morpurgo. And that's a boy who runs away and makes friends with these foxes. And yeah, I liked it. The Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. This is one of the better Wimpy Kid books, I reckon. Yeah, I liked it. I don't know, Wimpy Kid doesn't really blow me away, but it's still fun to read, and I guess. Lure Olympus Volume 4, love it or hate it, and make of it what you will. I know this is a very controversial thing, but I liked it. Ian McEwan, Machines Like Me. This is one of my top 10 of 2023. I love this book. It's very thought-provoking. I like the alternate history, the world building of the alternate history. It was really great. The Man Who Died Twice, Thursday Murder Club Book 2. This is definitely the best one of them. So, yep, you can go into God tier. Master of the Game. This is another top 10 of 2023. It was awesome, really fun. It was amazing how a book where every person is a terrible human being was just so fun to read, and sometimes you rooted for them, sometimes you didn't. It was great. The Meltdown, another Wimpy Kid book. Yeah, I liked it. Men in Black novelization. Yep, that was fun. I haven't seen the movie, but it sounded like something that I'd be into, so I read the novel when I found it secondhand, and yeah, I liked it. Mermaid Scales and the Town of Sand. This is a manga. This is like a self-contained one, and it was really cute. I really liked it. So you can go into Awesome. The Midnight Library. I did a review video of this one. It was a cool premise, but the execution was just the moral was so yeah, nah. The Modern Fae's Guide to Surviving Humanity. This is a short story collection about Fae. As with anyone, there's one or two standouts, and then a bunch. The rest is kind of it was fine. But I think the first story was definitely the best one, and then nothing else really left a very strong impression. So you did your job. A Narrow Door by Joanne Harris. This is another St. Oswald's book. I really like that series. This one's kind of strange. I still liked it, but I don't know. The Need for Better Regulation of Outer Space. This is a good short story collection. It's about a bunch of fiction about science. It's like historical fiction. It had a story about Oppenheimer, which I read before the Oppenheimer movie, before I even knew about that. It had a story about Einstein, about Alan Turing, and yeah, a bunch of other cool historical stories and other scientific stories. I really liked it, so you can go into Awesome. New York 2140 by Kim Stanley Robertson. Loved it. It's like a diorama, honestly, just stepping into this world and just kind of looking around this future version of New York. It's really cool. Nick and Charlie, this is a heart-stopping novella, and it touched on some stuff that is explored in Volume 5, although it was published before Volume 5. So, yeah, that was pretty good. Night Shift by Stephen King. It's a short story collection, and this one was pretty good. Yeah, definitely better than Bazaar. And Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks. This is the third Montague siblings novel, and yeah, this is the best one of that trilogy. Yeah, I liked Adrian's story, and yeah, it was also like, it was less weird than the other two, but I liked that. Wimpy Kid Old School. I don't really remember much of that one. Part of Your World. This is a Little Mermaid Twisted Tales retelling, where Ursula sort of won, where Ariel failed in her deal. Yeah, it was fine. A bit strange, but it was fine. Pax Britannica. This is the second book in that trilogy, which I really loved. Okay, so I now got 3 of the Percy Jackson graphic novels. The Battle of the Labyrinth is my favourite Percy Jackson book, but when they got to this graphic novel, the art style changed and I didn't like it as much as the old art style. So it has to go to Awesome instead of God Tier. The Last Olympian. That was also pretty good. And The Titan's Curse was also pretty good. The Titan's Curse is my least favourite Percy Jackson book, but the graphic novel was still pretty good. Persona 5 manga adaptation. I read the first 5 volumes of it, and it's a pretty faithful adaptation. I wish it did a bit more, just to kind of, that isn't in the game, and maybe some more scenes, more development that we don't get to see in the game. But I like it. Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. This is another one of my top 10 of last year. Absolutely loved it. It's a 1,000-page book about building a church, and it is amazing. Private Peaceful by Michael Morpurgo. This was pretty good, pretty awesome. It's emotional, it's meaningful. It's like a World War One, a soldier in World War One talking about how he got there. It's very suspenseful. Yeah, it was great. The Prophet and the Idiot by Jonas Jonasson. I liked it, but I think, like a lot of people, the first half was more fun than the second half. But it was still fun. But I don't really remember much of the ending. Yeah, I'm going to put in I liked it. Q by Luther Blissett. This was just confusing. I like the writing style. The writing style was fun, but it confused me. The plot confused me. Yeah, I liked reading art style. I like reading the writing style, but the plot was. You did your job. I was entertained to some extent. You did your job. Rabbit Soldier Angel Thief by Katrina Nanastad. This is a lovely, powerful, emotional story. You can go into God tier. It's about a little boy in World War II era Russia, and he ends up going with the army, and yeah, it's adorable, and yeah, I love it. Radio Silence by Alice Osman. This was an interesting one. It's powerful. It's uncomfortable to read, but not in a bad way. You can go into Awesome. Rebecca the Wrecker. This was a fun little kids book. Yeah, you can go into Awesome. Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I really liked it, and especially if you read Dracula, and I've also since read Polydori's Vampire, which also elevates it a bit more. So yeah, I can see why that is a classic, and I quite liked it. So you can go into God tier. Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is a pretty popular one. Dark Academia. Reverse Murder Mystery, I've seen it referred to. Yeah, I liked that one. It was fun, but it was kind of a little more, but I really liked it. Secrets of Angels and Demons. This is a companion to Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. It's going through, like, talking about the real stuff about that inspired it, like the history, like the papacy, secret societies, and also going through some of the plot holes and just breaking down all the stuff that was in there. So that was interesting. It's a bit outdated by now, but yeah. So 2 Selby books, Selby Snowbound, Selby Sprung. It's a classic kids series about a talking dog. And yeah, they're fun. And the next one, Shropshire Ghosts and Folklore and Witchcraft. This is a random little find in a secondhand bookshop that I picked up because I'm really into mythology and folklore. It's just a bunch of local anecdotes, I guess, about the town of Shropshire in England. So yeah, I liked it. Sky Key, this is Endgame Book 2, and that was pretty awesome. Solitaire, another Alice Oseman book, and yeah, that was pretty fun and interesting. And so you can go into Awesome. This is about Tori, which is Charlie's sister. Stalking Jack the Ripper. I did not love you as much as I expected to and wanted to. And something that really bothered me about this book is how the main character, I think her name is Audrey, I think, she's kind of trying to go break through feminine norms. And like, yeah, I'm not like other girls. I'm not into all that feminine stuff. But then she also talks about this, like, wanting to look pretty and wear pretty clothes. And that kind of bothered me. And I also just kind of struggled with this book. So yeah, nah. I didn't love it as much as I expected to. I was a bit disappointed. I will give it another go. I have the rest of the series. I'll give it another go at some point. Another one that might ruffle some feathers. The Stand by Stephen King is generally considered his magnum opus, and I completely understand why. But I just didn't love it, again, as much as I expected to. I didn't dislike it. I liked it, I think, but it just didn't blow me away, and I kind of struggled with it. So I think you did your job. Another disappointing one, The Stochastic Man by Robert Silverberg. Another one I expected to love more than I really did. I don't remember much about it besides the premise, and yeah. So yeah, nah. Strange Irish Tales for Children. I liked that one. It was 4 strange stories about Finn McCool and his followers, the Finner. So definitely some interesting stories there. The Surgeon of Crowthorne. This is a book telling about a real man, Dr. Miner, I forget what his first name was, who was involved with the making of the Oxford English Dictionary. That was really interesting. I liked that one a lot. Tales from the Cafe. This is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Book 2, and I liked it. But again, didn't really do anything really different to the other ones. The Tea Ladies by Amanda Hampson. This was pretty average. I expected it to be more like Thursday Murder Club than it ended up being. You did your job, nothing more, nothing less. Thieves of the 100 Gates by Robert Silverberg. I liked that one. That was an interesting time travel story, which I'm usually kind of mixed on, but I liked it. Wimpy Kid, The Third Wheel. I don't really remember much of this one. This Winter by Alice Oseman, another Heartstopper novella, and I really like this one. It's about Charlie's family at Christmas time and dealing with his mental health at that time. So yeah, I like that one. The Thousand by Kevin Guilfoyle. This is pretty awesome. I wish I could put it into God tier, but it involved Pythagorean law, and I expected more from that than we actually got. But it was still really fun and a really awesome read. I wish I could put you into God tier though. Thursday Murder Club. You are pretty iconic. I can see why we all love you. You are iconic, so you go into God tier. Tiger's Stags Book 4. This was awesome and powerful and heartbreaking. You can go into God tier as well. To Sir Philip with Love. This is Bridgerton Book 5. This is definitely the best one I've read so far. Best Bridgerton book so far. Eloise and Philip's story is really interesting. I like Philip as a really human, flawed character, and interesting things we get to explore from him. So yeah, you're awesome. Tracy Beaker trilogy by Jacqueline Wilson. Apparently really popular, but she kind of drove me a bit nuts, and she didn't really grow as a character, and she was just way more like, even for a kid, she was like really materialistic and obnoxious, more so than a real kid would be. I did like the third book in this trilogy, and the Dare game, that one was better. But yeah, I wish she kind of grew more and didn't have to keep learning the same lessons over and over again. The Underground Railroad. This is a very powerful and important book. It's about real anecdotes of Black American slaves escaping to freedom. So definitely powerful and important book. Almost done. 5 to go. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to the channel for more. If you like this tier list format, let me know. I can do some more tier lists, like perhaps ranking the Shadowhunters books, Percy Jackson characters, other series and characters from series I've read. So yeah, let me know in the description below, in the comments below rather, if you like tier lists. So Vampire by Manuela Donizetti. This goes through like lore and history of vampires. Didn't really go as deep as I expected, but otherwise I had fun with it. We Were Liars, that was also really fun and a really good book. I liked that one. What Katie Did Next by Susan Coolidge. This is What Katie Did, book 3, and it just kind of ended. Like, it came to a very abrupt end. She went on this overseas trip, but they had to cut it short because the girl she was traveling with got sick, and it was very abrupt ending. It was, that really bothered me, which is a shame because I liked the rest of it, but like it didn't really need to end that abruptly. It felt like we got cheated out of half a book. Witches of East End. This one, I liked it. I liked how it used Norse mythology. That was kind of fun. So yeah, that was that one. And last but not least, You'll Be the Death of Me by Karen M. McManus. Again, this one's pretty fun to read, so you can go to Awesome as well. And that's that. That concludes the tier list of everything that I read in 2023. So there you go. Let's go through just all the tiers. So you can just see everything. So we had, I think, 129 things to rank in this tier list. So thank you for watching. Again, let me know if you like tier lists in the comments below. I'll do more of them. Like and subscribe, please. It means a lot. Helps me with the algorithm. And as always, do lots of maths, read lots of books, and I'm sure you'll have a God tier day.